And when President Donald Trump took office, he immediately pardoned 1,500 of his supporters who attacked the U.S. Capitol 4 years ago after Joe Biden won the 2020 election. The commander-in-chief signed 6 commutations, including those of leaders from the far-right groups like the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers. However, President Trump wasn't the only one signing pardons. Just 30 minutes before leaving office, former President Joe Biden signed preemptive pardons for all of his family members. He also preemptively pardoned Dr. Anthony Fauci and General Mark Milley, fearing President Trump would target them. But are preemptive pardons constitutional? And is this the new political power play to safeguard loyalists from rivals? Here's more on the pardons offered by both men.
Donald Trump has returned to the White House with a statement. In a sweeping move, the 47th President of the United States pardoned nearly 1,500 individuals on Monday. President Trump pardoned those charged in the January 6, 2021 Capitol Hill riots. And Donald Trump also commuted the sentences of leaders of the far right-wing groups, Proud Boys and Oath Keepers. The 6 commutations cover the sentencing of 14 members of the two groups who were convicted or charged with seditious conspiracy.
First, we have a list of pardons and commutations relating to events that occurred on January 6, 2021.
Okay, and how many people is this?
I think this order will apply to approximately 1,500 people, sir.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon.
Yes.
Full pardon.
Full pardon or commutation?
Full pardon. We have about 6 commutations in there where we're doing further research. Nice to see you again. So this is a big one. Anything you want to explain about this? We hope they get them. We hope they come out tonight, frankly. They're expecting it. Approximately 1,500 people. Six commutations.
The commutations show that Donald Trump has the back of the Capitol Hill rioters who stormed the building after the Republican lost to Joe Biden in the 2020 election. This was Donald Trump's way of political vendetta. While the incoming president pardoned his loyalists and the Democrats cried injustice, it was actually outgoing President Joe Biden who went on a pardoning spree. In his last moments in the White House, Joe Biden pardoned 5 members of his family, including his brothers James and Francis, Sarah, the wife of James, Biden's sister Valerie, and her husband John. Joe Biden justified the pardons by claiming that his family was being subjected to threats and attacks ever since Donald Trump won the presidential race. Joe Biden's family members have not been charged or convicted of any crime except for his eldest son, Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden was convicted in June last year for lying about his drug use to buy a gun in 2018. Right after the sentencing, Biden went from this.
With regard to the question regarding the family, I'm extremely proud of my son Hunter. He has overcome an addiction. He's one of the brightest, most decent men I know. And I am satisfied that I'm not going to do anything. I said I'd abide by the jury decision, and I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
To this in a span of 6 months.
And the president said this in his statement, that Hunter and his family had been through enough. Enough is enough. And he wrestled with these circumstances, these changing circumstances ultimately. And the combination of that, the president changing his mind and issuing, certainly led to the president changing his mind and issuing this pardon.
Since then, Joe Biden has also preemptively pardoned his son Hunter in another tax evasion case. But Biden's preemptive pardons are not just for his family. It also includes members of the January 6th Capitol Riots Investigative Committee, the former chair of the Joint Chief of Staff's, General Mark Milley, and Dr. Anthony Fauci, who was the COVID-19 response chief in the Biden administration. Joe Biden has given 7 preemptive pardons, which means the people who have not even been convicted or charged for a crime are exempt from prosecution. Preemptive pardons are legal in the United States, but they don't protect from future crimes from the date the pardon was signed, or from non-federal charges, or from civil lawsuits. For Biden, the preemptive pardons have been a way of preventing prosecution of officials who had been loyal to him, and of course family, which comes first. Biden once said that he would never be like Trump and pardon his loyalists, only to prove himself wrong in his final days and hours in office. Among the big names, Biden has pardoned former Republican Liz Cheney, who was on the January 6th investigative committee. But Biden went overboard with commutations and pardons. In fact, Joe Biden has handed out the highest number of pardons for a president in the history of the country. Behind him are Andrew Johnson, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Woodrow Wilson, Harry Truman, and Barack Obama. Though out of the more than 8,000 pardons, Biden pardoned around 6,000 convicts who had charges of marijuana possession. However, it doesn't take away from the fact that Joe Biden will go down in history as the president who gave out the most pardons from the White House, including in his final 30 minutes in the Oval Office, where he frantically preemptive pardoned his family right before Donald Trump made his return.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines, detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT, only on Firstpost.